Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fight Me Bro betting show. We are your hosts, Matt and Nick. And today we're here to break down UFC Fight Island, 18. Corey Sandhagen versus Marlon
Sounds about
Moraes,
right.
which is actually a good fight. Unlike last week's card, which even the main event was a little lackluster, but there wasn't much meat on the bones. This, I guess, outside of the top two events, it seems a little bit stripped as well, if we're being perfectly honest, but at
A
least
little bit.
good fight.
It's just as bad.
Yeah.
The only difference is you have a main event that's super exciting and a co-main event that's somewhat exciting.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, I'll take what they give. We just got to, like we've been saying, we just got to get through this hump. Basically, we're kind of on a dry spell up until Gaethje, Khabib, or if Conor McGregor decides to save us all and fight Dustin Poirier, then if
one of the 9 weekends that he said he just so happens to be free.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is hilarious that he needs to let you know, oh no, I'm free. What else do you have to do, dude?
I also love how he instantly comes. He's like, it's got to be right away. Like, what have you been like? Conor McGregor, Mr. Quick turnaround time on the fights, always ready to fight. It always has to be immediate.
Like if it doesn't happen in December, what's wrong with January? For the first card in January, it's like, nope. I said
10 months. Only 10 months, not a year before I fight. Like, come on, you've waited this long before you're like, let's do it. But that's a different discussion. Probably talk more about it in our podcast. But for this, before we get into it, like we've been saying, man, you guys got to get on the train because we're hot. Like, I think I went 2-on-3 on my picks with the only miss being Pena, which wasn't my lock. And Pena was even fucking close. And night of, I think I took GDR by TKO, which obviously doesn't add to the money, but confidence-wise, I'm seeing the board well. I'm missing small, aiming small, missing small. I just got to be aiming small and hitting small. So we're almost there. We're almost to MMA tout status. But until then, we're just going to keep getting rich. And if you guys want to join, by all means, you can join. But I have five bets in 4 fights. Nick, you have 4 bets in 3 fights, correct?
yes.
All right. Well, I'll get started. First up, I am going early on the card, Tracy Cortez versus, I don't really know who the other girl is. The reason why I'm taking this fight is because, as you know on this show, we are gamblers, but first and foremost, we are simps, the biggest of which. So if there's any possibility that Tracy Cortez could see me saying this right now, that she's going to go out and just butt smash the hell out she fights, then that's enough for me to pick her. And plus, I looked at Tracy Cortez, like her resume.
I bet you did.
Good. She's actually pretty good. She beat that Agapova chick, like that crazy Kazakhstan girl that just
she was really
900. Yeah, I didn't realize that. That was the girl's only other loss was to Cortez, and I know that girl's pretty good. So good enough to beat her, good enough for me. And come on, you can't leave the donk out in this situation. You got a donk like that, you're packing some horsepower in the punches. So Tracy Cortez, lock it in, -180.
Okay, yeah, I have nothing lower on this card. I got to be honest. I didn't even buy. I looked at the names and I was literally thought to myself, do I want to do a lot of research this week? And then I thought, no, I don't. So
most people, I feel like it's either like their debut or they've had one fight on a prelim.
It is such a random collection of people. So I'm going to go to the not randoms. We're going to jump up co-main event right away. Edson Barboza versus Mr. Finland, one of my kind of favorite weirdo characters in MMA. I can't really even tell you why. He's just a fucking weirdo. He should be like an Aqua de Joe model or something, but he just doesn't.
Pre-hairline receding, he could have. Now it's getting a little.
Oh, does he have bad hair? I feel like I didn't notice that. Did he buzz it for his last fight? I don't know. He used to have lettuce.
Yeah, I don't think the lettuce is there anymore.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, that's tough on what I just said. But
he's still hot enough to be dating Miss.
That's what I'm saying. Right? Like, he's dating all these weirdos, and I always see these pictures of him where he literally, and I don't say that because I'm like, damn, dude, that guy's Luke Rockhold hot. I'm saying that he's always in these pictures. You see no pictures of him ever doing MMA. You see all pictures of him in the Euro bathing suit, just surrounded by dimes. So, I don't know what but the point is, he actually has really good wrestling. Some of the better, chain wrestling that I guess at 155, not that you'll see, but at 145, yeah, probably in the top somewhat of wrestling. The problem is he can only do that for roughly 2.5 to 3 minutes before he gets absolutely exhausted. So the pick here is actually we're throwing a deep ball. So I don't know how my money making strategy hot streak is going to continue this week, but I got some vibes. So, but Barboza by decision at plus 225, I like that a lot. Just because I think that this first round is going to be a good bit of like, this is all of Mr. Finland's energy. Like, he's not going to go anywhere. He's going to do all the things that Edson Barboza hates when people do to him, like push him into the cage, try to chain wrestle, things like that. And he'll probably have some degree of success, or at least I imagine him to have some degree of success. Now, where this plan goes off the rails is if he gets too tired, which is a for sure possibility. If he gets too tired and then Barboza just obliterates him in the second round, very possible. But that said, I feel like he's kind of one of those guys that's just a gamer. Like, he'll let his leg get kicked off just to lose the decision. I don't know. I feel like he's not like a full-blown quitter.
Yeah.
Quitter in the sense of he's not going to look for a way out, but he'll quit. You'll see when you're just when it registers of, oh, he's done trying now.
He's no longer trying to win here, but he's just trying to he doesn't want to tap out.
Yeah. And so that's why I really I think that you're going to have a pretty competitive first round. 2 rounds of whether or not he wins the first round is completely irrelevant. He'll probably get clean swept if we're being honest, but those first couple of minutes will be enough to sort of buy him a first round. And then it's just 10 minutes of getting his ass kicked. I like Barboza here plus 225 on the decision.
I liked it. I didn't realize it was that much money on decision, but on my card, I have Edson Barboza. I think minus 265. Love Mr. Finland. For some reason, most people in MMA hate it, but if you're a pretty boy and you can fight, for some reason, that is awesome to me because literally everyone wants to kick your ass at every gym you've ever been to. And for you to keep coming back and to get good, it's almost like, what the fuck, man? Like, good looking people aren't supposed to be talented like that. And he is. But like you said, I think him getting tired isn't a high possibility. It's almost a guaranteed unless he gets knocked out or finishes him in the first.
Oh, do not be mistaken. It's a virtual guarantee that he will get tired. What I was saying
is if
he gets so tired that our Barboza just jabs him in the face and he's just cardio KO'd where he just falls over and flops on the ground like he's dead. That is what I was talking about. He will gas within the first round. That is guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. He's very much like me. I'm not too proud to cardio tap. In fact, that's probably my favorite tap is tapping to cardio. Whenever
just ask my brother. Yeah. Cardio not high on the priority list.
Yeah, cardio
can do any physical activity really well for about 32 seconds.
But those 32 seconds, man, woo-wee, that's a highlight.
Potential.
But yeah, Barboza, especially at 145, I think Amir Khan just doesn't have enough on the feet, and Barboza's so good on the feet. And everyone just thinks wrestler automatically beats Edson Barboza, but it's not necessarily the wrestling. It's the pressure and losing the stand-up battle combined with the wrestling that lets Edson Barboza get absolutely ass fucked. But I think just pure wrestling, he might be able to take him down. I don't think he's going to sub him. So I think the biggest threat would be if Edson Barboza just kicks his fucking head off. But I think it's pretty. Probably night of, I'll probably take that as well by decision because that's good value at plus 225. Very good value.
Yeah, if you want to go safe though, do what Matt did. Just take Barboza. I just cannot envision a world in which Mr. Finland has enough cardio to literally last. He doesn't have enough cardio to put out enough offense over 15 minutes to win this fight.
No, it would literally have to be. He catches he's not going to catch him with something because if anyone's going to get caught with a strike, it's going to be Amir.
Yeah, it's going to be him.
But if he gets him with a first round sub, that's his only shot. And so I would maybe look to see that, but I don't think it's even worth it. I think it's a pretty safe bet. So we're first agreed pick of the night. Next up, we'll see how many we have. Mine, I'm going up to, I think this is the third from main card. I'm going Ben Rothwell over Marcin Tybura. Ben Rothwell looked pretty good in his last fight against OSP. I thought he looked he was getting
tired.
Yeah, I think he's getting back to form, which means he's probably back on the juice a little bit.
If he's back on the juice, this is a good pick.
Exactly, and that he's 39 years old, man. Do you think Ben Rothwell cares that? I think he knows he's on borrowed time, and he's got a few more fights in him.
Not if he's on the juice. Juice at heavyweight, man. You can fight till you're 46.
True. He's a spring. He's a spring chicken
Might as well be his debut.
if he's turning 39. But like Marcin Tybura, it's just I think he's too like small of a guy at heavyweight to be able to like wrestle fuck Ben Rothwell.
Not
Like,
even that. He's one of those guys that what do you do?
yeah, like, he's like, I don't know what he does like bad, but I don't know what he does good at all. Like to be like a threat anywhere. And Ben Rothwell, for as ugly as his striking is, hits pretty fucking hard, and it's gonna be hard to get in on these shots and try to take a man that big down, especially if he's on the juice. So fingers crossed. Basically, that's where the bet is coming at. Is Ben Rothwell on the juice? I'm saying minus 150. Yes, he's on the juice, and yes, he's gonna win. So lock it in.
Fair enough. This is Nick's nuts on the table play of the week. Not a lock, but the double pick for me is coming in the main event. Sandhagen, Moraes. Drop him down on the table, boys. It's got to be Corey Sandhagen TKO. Minus 140, plus 350, respectively. I'll fully admit, these past couple weeks, man, I've been reading the board pretty well, like we said, making the right reads, and even in a lot of the losses, calling them right. And the major memorable loss of the past few weeks was Angie Hill. And even
and
that
she
was,
didn't. I'm not accepting that. She won.
Yeah,
that.
right. Angie Hill and Nico Price. Those are the two big ones that we
Yeah.
said, like, empty the bank account. And, like, we called them right. So now, that was us reading the fight, calling the fight. This, I'm fully admitting, I'm gambling. Because, the way that I'm reading this fight, first of all, there will be zero wrestling. Basically zero. Both these guys prefer to do as little wrestling as possible.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's pretty cut. The line is minus 140 and plus 120 or whatever for a reason. This is Marlon Moraes, the captain of the go for knockouts every single time a punch leaves the chamber, versus Corey Sandhagen, lance people with jabs, low kick away, pile up damage. Not quite in as much of a Diaz style, but just I would say that like Diaz is more of what I would describe as the avalanche. Sandhagen is more of the continuously make people uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Like just constantly keep crowding them, make them length, mixing that up. And then plus Corey Sandhagen's also a dog. I mean, you didn't really get to see that in the Sterling fight because Sterling just outclassed him on the mat. Yeah. But Sandhagen's a dog. And so the thing here is, I mean, Marlon Moraes could come out and kick his head off in 10 seconds. That's what Marlon Moraes is going to do.
Sterling.
Yeah, but Sterling took him down, though. I'm saying they just could get in a dog fight here, and the punches are going to fly. And if we're going 1-for-1 in those first 10 minutes, my bet is not going to look so great. But that's the thing. We got to get out. Corey Sandhagen, even if he has to eat a couple, if he gets out of round 2 with his brain fairly intact, like we didn't get dropped, we didn't get completely chewed up to the body, anything like that. If he can make it out of 2 rounds with normal wear and tear style damage, like, yeah, things are hurting, but we're still here. I feel very, very, very confident in him winning. Regardless, he might be down 2-0, but I feel very confident in both the dub and in the TKO because Marlon Moraes is a guy that runs out of gas for sure. And it'll happen. Marlon Moraes ran out of gas in a 3-round fight against Jose Aldo, who also notoriously runs out of gas. Like there's no world where you can convince me of this fight. Now again, if Sandhagen's been dropped twice and so he's got to do the whole recover through a concussion thing, different story. But if we're just gonna get into a fight and it's just who's throwing harder punches, who's throwing more punches, someone's tired, that person is not Corey Sandhagen at the 15-minute mark, guaranteed. And then those last couple rounds is just going to be Corey Sandhagen going to work, which is what I'm betting on. And that is why I've got him minus 140 and the TKO. Got it. Gotta do it.
All right. Well, my lock of the week is it's hard to say this is a lock of the week, but because it's I'm betting on each side, but like you said it, I see this fight going clear cut 2 ways. It's Corey Sandhagen. Like, what was a fight recently where it's like, this is either going to happen or this is going to happen? There's been quite a bit. And whether we're right or not, when we're wrong, the other thing happens specifically. And I just think either Sandhagen is going to take it long with, I wanted to go by decision, but I do see a potential for a late TKO just because for 5 rounds, like, not saying Marlon Moraes is a quitter, but he's going to be so fucking exhausted by the end of 5 rounds if he doesn't knock him out that I don't think it's going to go decision. Sandhagen's going to find a way to put him away. So I'm taking Sandhagen for 3 units at minus 140. Ooh. But because at plus 300, I'm taking Marlon Moraes by TKO. Because I think if that doesn't happen, I'm like, that's the only other option is Marlon Moraes knocks him out. And like those two things are going to happen.
Very
like,
fair hedge.
I guess that's what I'm saying. It's hard for a lock because you're hedging your lock, but it's like, no, I'm just calling the only options we have on the table because I'm seeing the board so clearly and I don't see any other outcomes. So this is just guaranteed money. And really the hedge is just like, okay, it's a safe bet. So if you lose the Sandhagen to a knockout, it's just like, all right, you just had me free bet, you lose the juice. So not right. Don't hate it at all. I'm interested to see who you have for your locks. I was thinking it was either going to be Sandhagen or Barbosa, but
yeah, it was going to be one of those two until I noticed a little thing called Bellator was happening this weekend. And I noticed that Michael Venom Page is fighting Ross Houston. Who the fuck is Ross Houston? That is a question you're probably asking yourself. Actually, I did look it up just to check. He actually isn't quite the stereotypical jobber that they would have Michael Venom Page fight. This guy's 8-0, a couple submission wins. He had he won that split decision off he's the guy, do you remember, which I was completely unbeknownst to me. He's the guy that had that fight with Nicholas Dalby in Cage Warriors where they just had to like wave it off because like there's just too much blood in this cage right now. He's that guy. So which is like, okay, not terrible, but at the same time, when's the last time Michael Venom Page has fought? It's been a long time, which means you know what this is? This fight is just Scott Coker getting the Michael Venom Page hype train back up and rolling. Minus 240. It could be minus 2040. Like you just lay the number. This is going to be a knockout at some point in time. This fight is specifically to make Michael Venom Page look good. You guys know how much I fucking hate giving over minus 200 locks. Seems a little cheesy, but I mean, absolutely no brainer coming in here, just laying the number down on that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this is just a bet on Scott Coker's intelligence, and I think he's a smart guy, and he's smart enough to know they can't afford a loss to Michael Venom Page right now because they've done a lot of investing in new up and coming talent, which smart on them. Like they finally kicked the can to the whole like let's just go for only 40-year-old ex-UFC fighters. But until those stars develop, they need their stars now. And after losing Michael Chandler, they're not losing MVP. Like they're not going to lose him as a star. They're not going to lose him somewhere else. They need him. So that solid bet. Probably taking that. Is that Friday or Saturday?
What's the 10th? Is the 10th? What's the
10th? Saturday.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so they're going head to head. Well, I guess it's not a bad day to go head to head.
Dude, I'm pretty sure Bellator has 2 cards running at 2 separate cards running at the same time on Saturday. I don't like.
That's like when someone in fantasy football offers you 2 shitty bench players for like Antonio Brown, and it's just like, well, you can use both of them. It's like, no, you can't.
I mean, they got the card in France, but I think it's time adjusted. So that I think, I don't know, I'm talking on my ass, but I know when I was looking at it, I was like, oh fuck, that's next week. Because like then I scrolled down and I saw that bet was on there, and then I was like, oh fuck, that's next weekend. And then I read the date and I'm like, wait a minute, like why are there 2 separate sections for Bellator on the 10th? And it's like, oh no, they're just running 2 separate cards on the same day. So fucking.
They just they're like fishing for highlight knockouts. They're just like, okay, well, we'll get double the chance of knockouts if we have double the fight. The
problem is like Dana White's gonna get like it's always a risk when people do shit like that because then you don't know if Dana White's going to mimic it and take credit for the idea or if he's going to laugh at him and tell him he's stupid, which is what I hope he does. Because like I could see a world in which Dana White's like, dude, we have cards running from 8 a.m. till 2 a.m. and it's just it's basically like if you just mashed this Holly Holm Sandhagen Moraes card together and you're like, look, there's UFC on all day, and it's like, dude. Who is trying to watch
that much UFC? Who honestly?
Who need not only them, dude. If it was top to bottom fights like this Khabib card, and you just had 15 of like the best fights on paper that you could make all year, fuck yeah, I'd sit down at 10 a.m. and just watch and gamble on fights till 2 a.m. not like this. Like,
Yeah.
it's not this way. So
No.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Hopefully Dana White doesn't get any crazy ideas, because that for sure is something he would do. When really you think about it, it's thought about now. If you took out all the bad fights of last week and this week, which is a lot, you would still be left with, I would even only say a halfway deep. Like if you just combine the best from last week and this week,
I don't think you could fill out a main card, not a card, a main 5 fights that I'd be like, I'd watch all that.
yeah, even knowing the result of some of these, I'm just like, I still don't know if they warrant like
Yeah,
a main
no.
event spot. So yeah, we're tough comings, but I think actually there's some potential to win some money on this card this weekend, which could be a little dangerous, because I think I might be going like, it's been a while since I've gone full live bullets. Like, oh no, because I don't want to watch this whole thing, but I'll probably go full live
That's
bullets.
the thing, dude.
Main
There hasn't
event.
been a card to watch the entire time, so it's always like, put what you want in beforehand, and then just
And then tune
fling
in.
it.
Yeah,
Then just
exactly.
fling it. And just
All right. Well, those are our picks. You can obviously tweet us out your picks. Let us know if you think we're idiots, or you could just be smart and start tailing us, because, like we said, we're cashing in big time, baby. So until next week, you can find me at Broliva. You can find Nick at _ a guy and a gi. Make sure to check out our unofficial rankings, where we this week, what do we rank? Best
coolest
moments
things
in sports.
Yes.
Coming out. It came out earlier today. So
Mm.
that comes out every Friday. And then on Tuesdays, we release our podcast, the Fight Me Bro radio show. So a lot of content, a lot of funny shit out there. Slide in the DMs if you ever interested in coming on the show too. We're always down to have guests. So until next week, guys, peace out.